Holman here with Hydra Sailing Solutions, and we're going to analyze race number 5 of the J70 Davis Island event number 2. We've already done race number 4, but this will be race number 5. So let's bring up some of the information here. All right, race number 5 is this bottom section down in here. You can see Savasana won the race, Catapult was second, Power Play was 4, Scamp 12, ELE 43rd, and USA 241 44th. So let's look at what happened here at the start. So let's play this out a little bit. Here's actually the start of the race. Savasana and Al are down at the left side, which is the USA 241, and then pretty good pile up over on the right. ELE looks like they get a really good start here and get off the line quite well. And a lot of the guys looked like got flushed out. So everybody looked like they wanted to be on the right side of the start, except for Savasana pushing down towards the left. Let's back out a little bit here. See if we can find the windward mark. It is a little bit of left of the wind right now at the start. So let's play this out a little bit. Looks like ELE cross Scamp, ELE crosses Catapult. Looks like in very good shape there. Tack back on the lift right now. Get a little bit of a knock. We can see Savasana really getting a nice lift up in here right now, coming back in. Power Play had a lift and kind of fallen back a little bit. Catapult had a good lift coming back in through here. So it looks like it's a little bit of a shifty race here. Very close at the top of the group here. Let's zoom in a little bit more, coming in this windward mark. Top management of the windward mark is very, very important. Not getting stuck on the ley line, especially in a shifty condition. You can see the team here has stayed inside of the ley line coming in here a little bit. So let's play this out a little bit more. So it looks like Savasana now is on ley line. Catapult coming back in, hoping for a little lift kind of in the last little bit here. Let's see how close. How close were they when they came across Savasana? They were really close. Everybody was pretty much bow to stern right there. Let's play this out now a little bit more. Pause. So yeah, looks like, zoom in a little bit more. Back it up just a bit. Even though Catapult gets a lift in there, they can't quite get in there, but had an opportunity to pass Savasana. It gets in before Power Play. And away they go. Looks like Scamp had a little bit of a knock here. Maybe a little bit of traffic coming in here now into play, but you can see both of these boats are knocked. ELE way outside the ley line. It would have been much better. Let's see if we can find a place where if they would have laid up a little bit earlier. Look, sailed through a knock right in here. Right in here. Maybe setting up in here, tacking here, and then coming at the last minute. You know, right now they're ahead of Scamp. So let's see how it plays out. How far does Scamp beat him into the windward mark? Yes. Yes, they do. So tons of distance given up here in this last little top of the beat. Okay. Catapult jives out first. Savasana Power Play. Looks like an early jibe ELE. So if we look at the distance here, the speed differences, Savasana 5.59. Power Play was actually on average the fastest up that beat by just 0.02 tenths. Not top 3 guys are going quite well. The bottom 3 guys are definitely off a little bit of the pace. Now that could be kind of the pressure at the top side, maybe a little more traffic at the end of the day. Distance sailed. They sailed a little bit farther distance. Not a lot, but definitely a little bit more, maybe 1/10 more on that leg, the bottom 3 boats. All right, let's play this out now a little bit and see how this downwind leg pans out. Find the leeward mark. There's the leeward mark. Okay, let's see how this pans out. Looks like most of everybody kind of jibes out early. Maybe a little more pressure over here. Maybe that's what they were seeing up the first leg and why they wanted to start down towards the boat. Always coming into the windward mark, you should know if you're on a lifter or header number, because that applies really quickly to your downwind. Are you on a header or lifter also? And you need to know exiting the windward mark if you are on a header or lifter. So it looks like Al got a little knock here, but maybe lifting again. We'll see how this pans out a little bit. Okay, so let's back up here. Looks like maybe, even though these guys did get a little bit of a knock here, it still looks like a very hot number coming back in. Savasana quite nicely out in front on that downwind leg. How do they do? Leg 2, they say they were much faster, 9.25. They were much faster than everybody else. Let's take a look at that. Maybe they had a little more pressure coming out on the inside. Look like Catapult, is ahead a little bit right now on that first top of the downwind leg. But Savasana does get a nice catch-up lane in there and press down pretty quickly. So they had a nice lane coming down in the bottom end of the leg. But definitely going a little bit faster, and the distance sailed wasn't that significantly different. Looking on the chart on leg 2 over here. If you look at Scamp, ELE, average speed's 8.5. So pretty average coming in there. And they only lost a little bit, couple of 17 seconds, and ELE lost a little bit more. I think they got too far. You can see here they actually get knocked, which means they're probably jibing into a lift here. They probably lost a little bit of that time coming in this bottom part of the leg. Let's see how their angle is when they finish it off. Yeah, they just sailed really low that last little bit. I bet you that's where the speed fell off for ELE coming in. You can see they're pushing hard just to go straight into the mark. And looks like there's a big righty right here coming in for Scamp, or probably a wing on wing. That's probably a wing on wing, actually, right in that section, would be my guess. And just trying to do fleet management at that point. Okay, looks like top guys all went around the left gate, so trying to protect the right side of the race course right now. Savasana goes back first, Catapult power play. Let's see how it plays out now. Al, ELE, going out. So it looks like just trying to pay the shifts. Obviously, the windward mark is left of center, so easy to get too far out to the right. I like what Al has done here to try to work back in a little bit, unless there's more pressure out on the right-hand side, which there could be. How does Al do on the third leg? Actually, his boat speed's down a bit this leg, and his distance sailed is the max amount. So somehow this left hand did not work out well overall in regards to speed and distance sailed. So maybe pressure at the end of the day is what I'm thinking. So what happens? ELE, again, getting a little bit, there's a lot of danger in the middle of the fleet getting on the lane line. That means anybody that comes out there can tack on you. Really, if you're in the middle of the pack trying to get a lane in the top that gets you closer to the port lane line without getting tacked on, is really trying to find that lane in there. So, when you're 2/3 of the way up the race course, trying to figure out how to get so you're not on the starboard lay line early and getting tacked on is really what needs to happen on that top third of that racetrack. So I would guess that ELE had a lot of boats management. You can see up here they're pretty slow regards to trying to get tacked. They got to get out again and get another clean lane before they get around. Looks like everybody, again, jibes out early because the windward mark's a little bit left. And I think this pays out pretty similar here. But again, you can see these guys, ELE and Al, they get a little lift in here. Maybe pressure. Do you decide to keep going in it and take it up? Or is it on the step or not? And then Al makes a nice comeback here. Look at this. A nice little knock. It almost catches up with ELE right here before the finish. So there you are. There's race analysis for number 5. Let's look at the boat speeds for the last legs. Very similar. 3:10. Actually, speeds are 10:9, and the folks in the back are a little bit slower. So got to figure out the bottom 3 group here. What's going on a little bit on the boat speed and a little bit of the distance sailed here. Actually, Al did a good job of squeezing in on that bottom one and only sailing 2.89. So he actually sailed the least amount of distance in that leg, but at a significantly slower speed. So maybe a little hotter, a little faster would be a little better here. All right, that's it. Race number 5.